Good day, blessed friends, soul journeyers, and welcome to my channel. I am Lori-Lynn, and I am Spiritwithinus. And today's reading is, what are my spirit guides trying to tell me at this time? What is their message to me during this period? And so I picked 3 piles. And the first is the calcite, the peach calcite. The second is the black tourmaline. And the third pile is the orange-yellow pyramid. And I'll be using 3 decks during this reading. And the first deck is from the Soulful Women's Oracle cards. The second deck is the Shaman's Oracle deck. And the third is Archangel Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. And then I will most likely choose just a card, a reference card at the end. So pick one of the 3 piles, and remember that my readings are not meant to predict the future. They're meant to provide you with inspiration and insight into knowing what it is that you most need to know at this time, what spirit is how they're trying to guide you. And perhaps if the message, you're feeling a message is there, but not sure what it is, that's what this reading is going to do for you. And so let's get at her. So the first deck, the first pile, is the orange calcite. And the first card that comes up is the card of boundaries. There's always a huge lesson to learn within boundaries. And Spirit just wants you to know that it's not selfish to create clear boundaries. It's necessary to create boundaries. Boundaries allow you to protect yourself and to nurture your own intentions. And they also allow you to find and to follow your own true self. And so by protecting ourselves, setting up these clear boundaries, if they're being tested at this time, which they quite possibly can be, is to become really clear on what your boundaries are, and to always find the time each morning to set an intention, to ground yourself, to root yourself to the earth, and to allow that light to go right through all your chakras, clearing your chakras out, up through your crown chakra, to your soul star chakra, and then into the hands of the divine, and make this connection as solid as possible. And then from that space to see from the loving hands of the divine, see the light that pours back down upon you, and the white light that always surrounds us. Picture that in your head, in your mind, and see it surrounding you. And then you can see that the next color that will come down will be a blue light. And the blue light is that of healing. And with inner healing, this allows us to speak our truth and to set intentions as they so may be. And then the third light is the golden light that really protects us and holds in our sense of self and our connection with the divine and our connection to the earth. And so setting up clear boundaries for you at this time is so ultimately important. And know that it's not selfish, that it's so selfless to set up boundaries, to allow yourself to protect yourself, allow yourself to be yourself, to just let that inner person that you are shine. And that's what that's mostly about. And so the three cards that come up in the position of spirit guides. The first card is the spirit of family. So that would say to me is to, at this time, and it could be your family at home, or your work family, or your family of friends, whatever is family to you at this point, is really so that you can, Spirit's here to assist you and wants to help you with those connections so that you have boundaries set up and that you're not fear-based in keeping those boundaries and setting those boundaries, that you're not just always trying to do for others, and that you still need to do for yourself, especially when the next card is the spirit of nurture. And so you are to be nurturing yourself, to giving yourself what it really needs, to finding that time, to perhaps setting up a schedule that certain things are, because that so much is unknown at this time, it's more importantly to set up a schedule, to set boundaries, to set guidelines, and to nurture yourself. So to find the time, whether it be 5, 10, 15 minutes or an hour, but to find that time to fill yourself up again and to clear out, to cut cords, to let go of that really does not nurture you. And the final card is the card of the companion. And so Spirit wants you to know that you are not alone, that they are with you, that they're here to help protect you. They're here for the long haul in this journey, and to reach out, to call to them, to ask for assistance when necessary. If you're feeling out of sorts, just call to Spirit and ask to help them. Ask them to help you to ground yourself and to center yourself, to refocus and to nurture. And so the next three cards that come out are the cards, the Archangel cards. And the first card is Indigo and Crystal Children. The second card is Beloved One. And the third card is Gentleness. So this really is perhaps just a time that you need to connect with your inner child, to nurture your inner child. And that's always done by nurturing, or the best way to do is by nurturing children around you. Perhaps there's children within your family, or whether you be a school teacher or however, whatever that would mean to you, that the children around you, that seeing them from a different perspective, the children that may be acting out or acting differently. And so understanding that these may be indigo children or crystal children, they have a different perspective, and they can help you to see perhaps what's going on in your life from a different perspective. Or maybe you've lost that child, those childish impulses, childlike impulses. And so to really be gentle with yourself, and at this time also there's a connection, because it's Archangel Chamuel that came up, and he's saying that I'm helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. And so if you're concerned about a relationship, one that you're in or one that you're wanting to be in, or whatever that means to you, that they are helping you with a relationship that is necessary for your growth, and to find the answers to discover the pathway that will lead you towards them, that will mend, that will heal, and that will nurture and allow that relationship to grow as it will. Trust. Have faith and trust. At this time, it's really important to be gentle and kind to you. Be very gentle with yourself. Surround yourself with gentle people, situations, and environments. So people might be starting to get a little bit stir crazy or seem out of sorts. And if this is directed towards children, directed towards a loved one, remember to be gentle with yourself first so that you can carry that gentleness forward in your relationships. And so the first card that comes up in messages is progress. And so it's almost for you to be able to see that as if by magic, that spirit is with you. And it's a unicorn, and unicorns bring about a magical energy, it seems, but it's an energy that allows you to manifest, to set intentions, and to see how far that you've come. So if there's a new opportunity for you at this time to see things from a different perspective, but it can be happening on a trial basis, trial and error. So as you move forward, be willing to make mistakes. So important. And as you make mistakes, I'm not one that believes in one step forward, two steps back. I always think that there's progress forward, especially in the mistakes, because if we're willing to make mistakes, we're willing to see those mistakes and learn from them. That's what's necessary for you at this time, is to learn from mistakes as well as from the strides. So you're always moving forward. And so you haven't gone back, you've always moved forward. So more likely it could be one step backwards or a half a step backwards, 2 steps forward, because you've learned. And those of us that are willing to learn, to make mistakes, to learn through mistakes, is where the growth actually comes from. If we set up this ego base that we can't make mistakes, that we're too fearful of making mistakes, then we don't move forward, we stay stagnant. And this is saying there's progress. The progress is made through mistakes, through trial and error. And so the next card is that of self-love. And so again, as I said to you before, is that to be gentle with yourself. And what's important is taking care of yourself and taking care of your body. And self-love and acceptance are the ultimate acts of self-care. And so you really do need to love yourself whole and complete. Take that time, whether it be 10 minutes, but just find 10 minutes to yourself, to just breathe, to connect, to ground yourself to Mother Earth, and have that whole energy go through all your chakras in your body, cleansing and clearing out your body, and through your throat chakra, so that you are able to speak, knowing that your words are important and necessary, and so that you're comfortable and confident with yourself. And that's all through self-love. And it's not seeing it as a selfish act, but rather a self-love act. So you need to take care of yourself. So find that time, whatever it is that you need to know. And the final card, interesting, because this is the card of gentleness, and then there's the card of tenderness. So there is this childlike self inside of yourself that needs to be nurtured. And we nurture ourselves when we nurture children, youth, pets. It's to be tender and gentle to ourselves. Perhaps you are being gentle with children and you're trying so hard, but really within yourself you may be going a little bit crazy because you're just trying too hard to be perfect, to not make mistakes. And so as you're allowing yourself to make mistakes, be gentle and be tender with yourself and cherish the child within you. And so start playing a few different games and reaching out and to children and seeing that the gifts that they have to offer you, and that gift is of tenderness, kindness to yourself. So again, setting up boundaries, super important. And so because relationship really is essential within this first reading, the card that comes up is the Bonds of Love, and this is from the Spells deck. And so this is to honor yourself and honor within the love of yourself. And so to really nurture your love for yourself and to spend that time that's necessary connecting. There is an element of emotional attachments, and so I think that's what's important, and that's what begins with the boundaries, is to, as you're nurturing and taking care of yourself, is to cut cords, cut circumstances and situations that no longer serve you, so that you can completely open up to the divine energy that's all around and surrounds you. Okay, so that's it for pile number 1. And so I hope that messages that were meant to reach you, that I was able to relay them correctly, appropriately. And so with that, I'm going to go to pile number 2. And that's the black tourmaline. Wow, there seems to be almost like a universal message of this. First card that comes up is creative cocooning. And it's very similar to the last pile. And so creative cocooning, I guess it's in a different sense, because what this creative cocooning is, perhaps you may have more time to yourself, or you need to find the time. Allow yourself a freedom to yourself to create a safe nest, a safe space for peace, for healing, and for calmness. And it's ultimately important, and the Spirit is just saying, don't forget yourself, to find that time. And maybe you just need to slow down a little bit, and you're trying to rush through things, or move through a situation quickly. And the reality is that Spirit is saying that they don't want you to move through this time quickly. It's to find that peaceful space within yourself, and it can be always found at any time. And that's whether you're out in public or you're at home, at work. There's always a time that you can back away, that you can stop, take a breath, and find that place within your mind that's completely peaceful. And when we find that place within our mind that is so peaceful, that's where we become alive, and that we're able to see different avenues, different ideas come to mind. Our creativity just becomes alive. And it's when you quiet the mind. And some people are afraid. They think, well, I can't quiet my mind because I keep having thoughts. Well, here's the thing about that, is that having those thoughts, don't grab onto the thoughts. Just allow the thoughts to come and to go, and to just release them, all the thoughts that aren't necessary, until you've found. Take yourself on a walk within your mind and down a pathway. And as you're going down the pathway, that you're noticing all the things around you. And what do you notice? The trees, and notice the grass, or the path, or if there's a gate, or whatever's ahead. There's a meadow, a valley. Just walk along this and imagine this image in your mind, and then come to a space that you feel at peace at. And it could be, for me, it would always include water, and a place that you can really renew yourself, and then just sit in this space. Hold space for yourself to begin with, and then just allow thoughts and ideas and what it is that can really help you to become calm within some sort of situation. It's always knowing that that space is available, and the more that we do that, the easier it is to actually reach that space of calm and quiet that gives us the idea, that gives us the thought of where we need to be, where we need to go. So the cards in regards to, wow, beautiful. The first card that comes up in this reading is the Spirit of Initiation. And so you're entering into a brand new place, a brand new time. And so this is the Spirit of Initiation. And he's here to assist you in this journey that you're taking within your mind, within this quiet place. And perhaps it's a time that you're rethinking your situation, your job situation, or your home situation. And so call to Spirit, ask them to be by your side as you begin to understand the mysteries that surround you and the wonders that are around you at every single moment, the opportunity. And so from this space, Spirit wants you to find that place within yourself, to take those journeys. So the message that's being relayed at this moment is that to take half an hour every single day and just do a trance-like, a meditation, a very calming journey, and just letting go of your thoughts, of what's holding you back, and just letting your inner knowing, your connection, your soul's journey, allow for new experiences, and don't be afraid of that. You may connect, you may see Spirit, he may take you to a place that you never even imagined that can transform you. And he can show you and find you your own truth for your journey at this point, period. And there's a point beyond which all who travel and seek the path to enlightenment, that they must travel. And this is the travel in the realms of the mind, going beyond the mind, and connecting directly with our higher self, the 8th chakra, and just allow your mind to go, to take you to places of peace and gentleness and kindness. And the next card, wow, is the Dancer of Joy. And literally, that when this card appears, they're actually talking about dancing and finding that place of joy within yourself. He says, I am the dancer of joy, and I dance for the joy of being alive. So perhaps you felt stuck, or just overly emotional, overly intense, all this intensity that's going on. And so finding that quiet place and going on journeys and realizing that being alive can be such a beautiful journey if we see it from a point of wisdom and a sense of fulfillment for everything around you. And so just dance to the music, dance to joy, be happy, be joyful, be creative in your own way, through your own values, and just being honest and loving yourself so much that you're willing to abandon all inner ambitions and just let go and be grateful for all that you have. And that as you move forward, you can do it joyfully. Even when life gets down, you can go to that place, find the joy within yourself, and then spread that joy out and around. The final card is the Dancer of Promise. So if within this place that where you're at right now, the Dancer of Promises holds out their hand to you, and they are showing you, they want to show you that there is promise, that there is help, that there's so much in front of you, but that place begins within yourself. So ask for their help and ask to see that light in the morning, to enliven you with joy, to begin your day joyfully with a reason. And so when I said taking a half hour to find a space, within that space, finding that space, and really, they want to fill you up with this joy for life. Somehow, somewhere, this is a place that you need to go to surrender to, knowing that there is triumph and hope ahead of us. And so that there is hope, that there's promise, and he's leading you to the way of the realization of your dreams and the fulfillment of your desires. And so that would say to me very clearly that part of this pathway that you would be on is really to reassessing what's going on in your life, what needs to be changed, and that change needs to come from within your own mind, not from external sources. And Spirit is here to assist, to help, and to guide. Wow. So the cards in regards to the Archangel deck, the first card is the Clairessence. And so this is really for you when you're taking these journeys, when you're on your journey within yourself through the meditation or trance-like state. Notice your feelings, notice the sensations, notice your emotions, notice all of this that you're feeling, and you're going to really understand and feel that Spirit is surrounding you, that they're embracing you, that they're helping you move forward along your journey. And so this will be carried on into the stages where once you're not in that state of meditation or intention prayer. And so once you start clearing things out, you will then be able to notice at other times when Spirit is with you. Spirit usually comes rushing into me so quickly, and never at any other, just not always at the best times, but I always know it's the time that's necessary, that I know that I need to relay a message, give a message, share a message, be a messenger for somebody. And so I become very aware of these emotions. And so I think I spoke about being an empath in the last deck, and being that empath is when we take on others' feelings, and that's why it's so important to set up our boundaries. But this is differently, because once we have the boundaries set, and this is coming, you're learning. This is a learned process to understand the feelings that you get, the emotions that you get, to be really listening to any signs that surround you, that come at you at any time. So be very aware of reoccurring physical and emotional feelings. You are being divinely guided at this time. Okay, so the next card, wow, okay, couldn't be any clearer, is chakra clearing. And so it is important, this half hour that I'm saying in the morning, is to hold your own space and ask for the archangels to come in to help you to clear your chakras. And for you, it's ultimately important to clear your chakras, to clear out, to cut cords, to release some of the fears within yourself that are attached to you. This is just a time that we have to make sure that our space is so clear, so that the messages that you're receiving, you can hear them, and that you know that you're there to assist you, to help you along your journey. So the chakra clearing, and there's so many meditations out there that do chakra clearing, and I've said for 2 days now that I'm going to do one on my own, and I haven't got to doing so perhaps I will be. This card is second time, same as the last one. This is the third card, is to do, it's the indigo and crystal children. And perhaps this has to do with you, and that seeing that light within yourself, seeing that part of your path at this time is to assist others, assist children in finding that light within themselves, finding that joy within themselves, finding that promise and hope within themselves. And so you being the catalyst for this, for them, that's what this is saying. So recognizing the child, the gifts, the gift within children, the gift within all that surrounds you. Okay, so the final cards are just achievement, choice. Oh, there we go. Faith. Okay, completely makes sense. So here, the first card is of achievement. And it's really because you've learned to walk away from some of the things that have been holding you back, and to follow your own heart's desire, your own gifts to blossom. And I just see her so much here chasing these butterflies. And so but she's in a very joyful way. That's that of pure heart. That's why becoming, like clearing our chakras is so important, is to get back to that childlike being that's within. So it says here to chase your dreams. So within all that you're doing, you may be surprised to where they'll lead you. And so find that time to hold space for yourself. Knowing that everything in life is a choice. and that you are allowed to reconsider commitments. You're allowed to change your mind. You have the right to change your mind. And so perhaps as you're clearing out, because it's related to the chakra clearing and the dancer of joy, and so realizing that you've been stopping yourself in your own, it hasn't been somebody else that's been stopping you, it's yourself that's been stopping you. And that you get to make these choices that are clear, that are not related to or not linked to the past. And so there is an intense letting go of so much that you've carried along with you. And so it's just letting that down because you're clearing out. And Spirit wants you to know that you get to make choices, and then you get to remake choices. And every choice that you make makes you stronger and more whole. The final card is that of faith. And I always say that faith and fear cannot coexist. You either have faith or you live in fear. And so it's a fear that blocks the manifestation, the wills, the intention. That's the fear that blocks it. So it's that what you need to let go of as you go on these journeys, and just let go. Have faith that they will take you where you need to go. If you're on a journey and you notice some sort of energy that doesn't seem as bright or as light, some people might call it a darker energy, ask that energy to come forward. And as it comes forward, see how it begins to soften and glow. And that energy then can be sent love and blessings and kindness, and letting go of the fear. Release the fear with love and healing, and then open yourself up to a purity of faith. And faith grows when you act without knowing the end result. So letting go and just being, allowing. Okay, so the final card in this is from the spells deck. And there we go. My favorite one. Okay, so this pathway is that perhaps having the faith is setting the intention. And the card is of Habondia. And so setting the intention in your surroundings and to bless, to make sure you're giving gratitude. When you eat, mindfully eat. Be grateful, and to give gratitude for all that you have, that all that you receive. If you receive a check in the mail, or a check from work, money, be grateful, give blessing to that, so that you're open up to more. If someone opens their heart to you and gives you love, give pure blessings back to that. And so the blessing here is, I bless this food with wealth, health, luck, and regeneration. With Habondia's blessings, my cabinets, wallet, home, and heart are filled with all that I require and all that I desire. For this generosity, I am ever thankful. Blessed be. So if you can see that, that's what the blessing is. So I hope that this reading for pile 2 helped clear up or understand what Spirit's asking of you at this point, to finding that time, that space within yourself to move forward in a space of joy and promise. Okay, so the final deck is the Orange Pyramid. And this card, wow, is Fearless Self-Love. This card is about finding that love within yourself that's so fearless, that's just willing to participate, to jump through the fear to get to the other side. And then whenever we know, or whenever we choose to completely love ourselves, completely honor and respect ourselves with this love that is based on love, knowing that you are loved. Spirit wants you to be the best version of you, that you are always connected to your star chakra, your soul chakra, and connect with that and allow that love to just permeate and to emanate from all around you, within you, and cleanse your aura, and to move through in any situation. Be fearless in this self-love. And that whenever you choose to love yourself, no matter what the circumstances that surround you, you are practicing fearlessness. And the more we practice fearlessness, the more fearless we become. That's quite the reality of it. And so be fearless in your actions. Don't be afraid to respond, to speak. This is about, what I'm seeing very much in this card is about intuition and defining your intuition. Also your third eye as well. And so seeing things with a clarity that is necessary for you at this time, seeing things differently from a completely different perspective, and being fearless in this. So Spirit's also saying that what I just got, it came through to me, was put yourself in a timeout. And perhaps you have, and perhaps you're feeling that you don't have others that are around you, or others that support you, or that you're alone in your journey. And here's the thing, is that you may have, quite honestly, set up these boundaries around you to block people, to not allow people in fully. It's kept you safe. It may have kept you in your place of comfort. So what Spirit is saying is that you need to love yourself enough to recognize where you have set yourself into exile. You've set yourself apart, and to give love back to yourself fearlessly, to allow for yourself so that you can break down those walls that are all around you, and to allow people in. And my niece and I talked about this once, and we were talking about the box, and that we all surround, or at some point we realized that it has surrounded us. We live inside this box. And she said to me, she said, but I didn't create that box. I didn't build that box. And that's so true. That box typically begins within the first 5 years of our lives, is that we learn from those around us how we should be treated, how the manner in which they speak to us, the manner in which they give to us. We then send messages to ourselves that that's the norm. Sometimes this is the norm, sometimes it's not. Sometimes we put up a wall so that we don't get hurt, so that we aren't shamed or guilted. And so now when we get older, at some point in our life, we have to realize that, yes, perhaps it was through childhood, through our lessons, that these walls were built, but it's up to us now in this moment to break down those barriers, to break down those walls, to love yourself so fearlessly that you could open your heart up, knowing that by being protected, by being selfless in your love for yourself. And that spirit is always around you, helping you to love yourself more and more. The more you love yourself, the more others will love you. And the more you allow yourself, you will let in the people that are necessary in your tribe, your community, your soul's community. The more people are going to come towards you because they'll see that you're not blocked, that you don't have those boundaries up, that you haven't put yourself in self-isolation, self-exile. So you actually will need to do that, to see that, to move through that, to break down all the walls. The second, wow, okay, very interesting. The second card that comes up is the Shaman of Reflections. So this is a time that taking a journey, Spirit wants you to see that we are all, the people that we bring into our lives, we are all a reflection of ourselves. If we're closed, often another's is closed, the people that we bring, so that we're not going to open up to one another because of fears. So it's letting these fears down. So you can look at this in two ways. One way is, what is it about this person, this relationship, these circumstances that I'm so attracted to? And so that could be reflective of the things that we are within ourselves, and of relationships that, in other senses, that are, say, harmful to us, that don't resonate what we so desire, we so want, but see how that your energy has attracted that, and what is it about that relationship that you need to learn to move forward. So always seeing relationships as reflections of ourselves, because everything in life comes from either a fear state or a secure state of the love within ourselves. So find out where that is within your relationship. Each relationship within your life, you can do that. Reflect upon relationships. See how past relationships, if you need to go back to do a journey of a past relationship, say with your mother, your father, your brother, sister, and see where you might have learned something from within that relationship that now affects how you see yourself. And so within that, then you can release that and just start loving yourself as fearlessly as possible. Okay, so the final card in that regard is the card of Journeyer. The Journeyer, this is your soul's journey. Remember that. And know that the people that are around you, the people that are with you, the people that are closest to you, the people that you hold at arm's length are all here to teach you. That everyone that you come in contact is here to teach you. And as well, you are there to teach them. So every situation, every circumstance is always about a lesson. And so seeing what that lesson is, seeing what that relationship most brings to you, and it's going to go back to that fearless self-love of yourself. And so from that standpoint, from healing, because we live, and this is my belief, that we live many lifetimes, this is about yourself healing different relationships along in the past and in the future, as you begin to repair and to rebuild the self-love within yourself, and you're going to start the forgiveness of others, and that's going to mend relationships from the past all the way into the future lives. Okay, this is your journey. This is your choice, is the situation that you've asked to be in, to learn from. And so next cards are the Archangel cards. Okay, so for the Ancestor of Exile, and Archangel Ariel comes up, and so perhaps, and the card is of courage, And it's a really important card in this reading because it's the courage to face the fact that, and see for yourself that you are courageous and that you can stand up for your own beliefs. You may have set up boundaries because you were different from perhaps the people in your family, your friends. Maybe you were different, and that's okay. So if you thought in the past you needed to be the same or follow the same pathway, you don't. So you set up these strong boundaries around, and right now it's being courageous to let those boundaries, to break the walls, and that you can forgive, and forgiving so that you can move forward. You have the courage to do this, to move forward along your journey. Okay, and this is actually what I thought. So what's going on within your space at this time? And Spirit's saying it's about a career change. And it's either recognizing that the pathway that you were on was not one that you wanted to be on. It was one more where you were on because of situation or what you thought other people wanted you to do. So it's just, you've come to a period in your life where Spirit is nudging you to begin your own mission, set your own intentions from a place of love within yourself. And they want you to recognize that there perhaps is a career change ahead for you. And what's happening in your life is actually triggering this career change, and that you are blessed, and to give blessings for what may have seemed like a tower moment or what may have seemed like was out of chaos, but that you found this time that was so important to love yourself that you now want to do what you love, complete and whole. And the final card, okay, so I think this is what I said prior to. The final card is Archangel Chamuel, and it's the card of peace. And peace comes peace comes from remembering that only love is real. And so that understanding is what I was talking about before, is to understand that everything comes from a place of self-love, and how much you love yourself resonates out to what you bring into yourself, to what you surround yourself with. And so if someone is fearful, it is being challenged in chaos, is acting out, it's usually from a place that is harmed, that is living in fear. So this journey, that where you're at, Spirit wants you to find that place of peace within, understanding that so much within your heart that only love is real, and that everybody does what they do from what they were taught. And this whole universe is going through a switch at this time, and more understanding this and learning this and seeing how circumstances has brought us to this place. And that's becoming fully aware of how much each of us loves ourselves, and how much we set up blocks. And it's to tear down those blocks and to push through and to jump through that that doorway, that pathway that's triggering, that's begging you to enter into it, a place of pure love. Okay, so the other cards, these are just these are cards of intention. And so the first card is that of gratitude. The second card is of rest. And the third card is of blessing. So very importantly for you at this time are those three things, is to show gratitude for every step that you take, When we forgive somebody, what's important is to understand and know the lesson, not the lesson that they needed to learn. We're not asking for them for forgiveness. We're forgiving ourselves so that we can break down the barriers. So be grateful for whatever lesson this person was in your life to help you to learn. And so show gratitude and experience the joy of acknowledging others. And so always say thank you, give gratitude, give forgiveness, come from a place of self-love. And sometimes you can actually come to a place where you can forgive and recreate that relationship, even if somebody that has hurt you so much. But when we don't love ourselves, that's often what we attract into our life. And so that person may have been in your life to help you to love yourself fearlessly and to give gratitude for that relationship or circumstance or situation. The second card is the card of rest. And so at this time, you may need to just rest, to take some time to daydream. And it's not to sleep, it's to rest, to just go within yourself and to realize that your self needs are important. So 5 minutes, if you need to close your eyes, just because somebody else doesn't need to close their eyes or just keep going, you don't need to do that. Right now, what's important for you is to rest and to do it without feeling guilty. For myself, when I made myself a priority, when I started putting my needs first, that opened up a way that allowed me to assist others, to help people from a different place, from a place that wasn't fear-based, that was based on love. And so I know that I had to, somebody once said, why are you so busy? Why do you always have to, do 100 billion things? And I didn't actually recognize or realize that, but we get caught up in a cycle of that. And it can be from family experience, from wherever you've come from. And then you realize, and so from that person saying that, I said, yeah, why do I do all that? And so I myself stopped and I allowed myself, but I had to consciously allow myself to relax and to make myself my needs, my top priority. The final card is that of blessings. And as you open up, you are now opening up to all the blessings that you've so deserved, that you so earned. And so Spirit wants you to know that you are opening up, and that as you release, as you give to yourself, you are just breaking down those walls. You're breaking down the boundaries, and you're opening your heart up so fully to a love that's unconditional, that can forgive, that is without expectation. And so just giving without having to receive. And so many blessings are going to come your way because of this. And to make sure that you heal your heart, to open it up. And it says to count your blessings. So each day to remember that all the blessings that do surround you, and a grateful heart attracts more joy, love, and prosperity. And so be truly grateful. And there is a difference between being grateful with condition and expectation and just being grateful for what you have, and for all that's brought into your life, and to the lessons, especially the lessons that you are experiencing at this time. Okay, So from the spells deck comes the card of fire. And so I would say that it's an invocation for fire to be used when calling in the elements during a circle or connecting to sacred flames. So myself, I use candles. And so when you light a candle, and sometimes we just need routine to set our intentions and to be clear on our intentions. So face the south with your candle in front of you and repeat, Mary meets south, element of fire. Your flames of passion, heart, and vision ignite us. We ask for your bold strength in our rights, so mote it be. And when closing the circle, Mary parts south, we thank you for guiding, teaching, and illuminating our rights. So make this I'll hold this closer up to see if you can capture that. So really, this is about you setting intentions and really being clear and allowing the element of fire is an energy that is fast. I'm going to use quick and furious. It's fast. It's not slow moving, such as the Pentacles. Fire is fast. And so when we light a candle and we set our intentions into that that space, as we do, we allow that candle, that flame, to take action. And so this is more than just about setting its intention. It's also about doing. And so that's pretty clear. Okay, thank you very much for joining me in this reading. And I certainly hope that it assisted you in some way with your spiritual guidance at this time. I am very grateful for you to be here and for allowing me to help you along your journey. If you like this video, then like, subscribe, and share so that I can reach as many people as souls that need my assistance. And I know that Spirit has always guided me towards that. So have an incredible day. Much love. Namaste. And may peace and joy be with you.